Meet the sheriffs.
Hello, enforcement agents!
Here with a High Court order today.
They work for the High Court, and if it says you're owed money, it's their job to get it.
Hey, all the keys.
I'm going to be calling a locksmith.
They can demand payment
What can you pay us now?
We're going to get the cash, are you?
Are you paying the bill?
or remove assets.
You've got 30 minutes to make the payment.
We'll start removing stuff from the building.
7 days, and then they'll be sold at public auction.
Obstructing their work is a criminal offence.
I wouldn't do that if I were you.
Don't lie to me.
That's number one on.
Every year, sheriffs in England and Wales recover unpaid debts totalling more than £95 million. Coming up, Lorraine Johnson was sold a faulty car.
It lost power completely with my children in the back of the car, and it was so terrifying.
The dealer refused a refund, but can the sheriffs get him to see sense?
Look, I am tell her, bring me car back. I go her house. I tell me, give me car, I will give you money.
If I cannot talk, then this is not going to get resolved.
When Derek Bradshaw took a job as a motorcycle instructor, he ended up working for free.
I was submitting invoices and they just were not being paid by him. It made it very difficult to survive.
Tommy confronts the man responsible.
I paid that one online back in January.
It's not been paid, sir.
In Manchester, the sheriffs lay down the law at a curry restaurant.
This needs to be paid in the next 5 minutes. Otherwise, I'm taking everything away, including the contents of your till.
And when the boss of a boating company doesn't pay his debts,
There it is. That one right there.
Andy goes after his prize assets.
It's all part of the plan.
It's July 2018, and High Court enforcement agents Adi Long and Andy Joyef are in Cambridgeshire in pursuit of an unpaid debt.
We're off to XL Motors Limited of Peterborough for the debt of just over the £3,000.
Obviously, we don't know until we get there what there's going to be in way of assets, but hopefully it's going to be paid in full.
XL Motors' debt began with the sale of a vehicle to Lorraine Johnson, who desperately needed a car to ferry around her 2 boys.
As a single mum, it was an essential item to take the children to and from school, and then also days out, you know, to the beach, to the cinema. My dad lent me some money, so we went round a couple of car places, and then we came across this Ford Fusion at XL Motors. I took it out for a test drive and it drove smoothly. It didn't seem to have any problems. It was clean, it was tidy, and it seemed great. We decided to purchase it.
The car cost nearly £2,500, a huge amount of money for Lorraine, but worth every penny if it made her life easier.
It was great to have a car. The kids were really excited.
But on the school run the following day, Lorraine encountered the first signs of trouble.
An engine light came on. Then I thought, oh, I'll be able to drive it up the road and take it back to the car place. Probably about 3/4 of a mile up the road, it lost power completely. When I phoned them, they just seemed so unhelpful. They were just rude and didn't know whereabouts I was, so they weren't going to come out and pick me up. So I felt really alone and vulnerable.
Lorraine returned the car to XL Motors, who said they'd fix it. She got it back a few days later, and assuming it was now working, took the kids on a family outing.
I was driving down the A1. When the power failed, you're travelling at like 70 mile an hour, then it drops to 60, then it drops to 50, 40, 30. And it was so terrifying to have all these cars going past you, and you're thinking, I hope there is a lay-by that turns up soon. And luckily, this lay-by turned up. It was a lifesaver.
Lorraine and her boys spent an hour and a half stranded on the side of the road.
The children were crying because I was really upset and we didn't know how long we were going to be broken down for. It was very frightening.
By now, Lorraine suspected XL Motors had sold her a dud. She had the car towed to a local garage and was shocked by what they found.
And they said that the car's undrivable and it's unsafe to drive. Myself and my dad went down to XL Motors and said, we want a full refund, and they said they weren't going to give me the full refund. They said to take them to court, and me and my dad said, fine, and we just walked out the door.
XL Motors failed to attend the first hearing, and a default judgment was made against them. But they appealed the decision.
In the second hearing, he decided that he was going to be argumentative with the judge, and that's not a good thing to do. When the judge said that I was going to be awarded the full refund on the car, it was just, oh, it was just heaven. It was just a dream.
But Lorraine still hasn't seen any of her money. Her only hope now is to call in the sheriffs. Back in Peterborough, Andy and Adi are nearing XL Motors Limited.
It could be a tricky one. If he argues with the judge, I'm sure he's going to argue with us, you know? That's it there.
XL Motors.
XL Motors. XL Motors.
The sheriffs are met by the company director, Ari Faggy.
Hello.
How are you, mate?
Good. My name's Mr. Dreyfus and my colleague Mr. Long. Here in order to execute a High Court writ of control, okay, against XL Motors Limited. I'm here in reference to Lorraine Johnson.
What's Lorraine Johnson? What about for?
Okay, she purchased a vehicle from yourselves, okay, and took the company to court, okay?
Okay. Can we go office?
Yeah, that'll be great.
It's clear there are more than enough assets here to settle the debt. But for now, the sheriffs hope a chat in the office might speed things up.
The company has been taken to court, okay? A representative of the company actually went to court to set aside the judgment.
Okay.
Okay, but that was dismissed.
Sent him later. I go her house. Her don't want to give me car back. How I give him refund?
No. What it is, okay, is that this has gone to court. It's been transferred up as a High Court writ. They've instructed us to recover the money for them.
Why I have to do that? I am giving offer. I am offer her to come to here.
No, there was already a chance for that.
No,
It's got
this is a later.
31st of May 2018.
Yes.
Yeah, the judgment date on this was 2nd of February. This has been going on.
I know,
since
but we
before
go to
that.
court again. We reply.
There's no need to shout anyway.
In fact, Lorraine is willing to return the car, but only once she's got her money back. And as the court order makes no mention of the vehicle, the law is on her side. All the sheriffs are commanded to do is get the debt settled.
We're here on enforcement stage 1, which is £3,060 and 88 pence.
Nah,
That's
it's,
including cost and interest, because if it isn't paid, okay.
let's wait. Let me to come to my accounting.
I'm just telling you exactly what's going to happen.
But
because
she
if
play on me.
If I can't speak.
Look, I am tell her bring me car back. I go her house. I tell me give me car. I will give you money.
No.
After you don't need to ask if you get money back.
Calm down.
If you are not going
But,
to, if I cannot talk, then this is not going to get resolved.
Let me to speak to my accounting.
You speak to your accountant, that's fine. But what I'm telling you is, if the debt isn't paid whilst we're here, I'm going to be looking at a vehicle to remove to clear the debt.
Later, tempers flare at the garage.
Look, why are you writing down to her? Why you say to that?
You don't need to shout.
I am shocked to you. You're not listening.
But will the sheriffs be able to convince XL Motors to pay? Anyone can use the county courts to recover money they're owed. About 2 million claims are made every year in England and Wales, involving everything from poor work or faulty goods to unpaid invoices. Claims can be filed by post or online for a small fee. Both parties in the case will be asked to submit evidence, and you may have to attend a court hearing. If you win your case, a county court judgment, or CCJ, will be issued against the debtor. If they still don't pay, it's time to call the sheriffs. Restaurants and bars are 3 times more likely than other UK businesses to go bust. It's a difficult industry to be successful in, so it's no surprise that the sheriffs often find themselves knocking on the doors of restaurants which haven't paid their bills. It's now October, and Rob Foster and Gerald Anderson are on their way to a curry house.
We're heading down to EZE Manchester Limited, looking for just shy of £4,000 owed to a fire protection company. They've done servicing work on equipment they've already fitted.
When EZE Manchester Limited failed to pay for this essential work, they were taken to court. No one from the company attended the hearing, and a default judgment was awarded in favour of the claimant. Now it's up to Gerald and Rob to get their money. The sheriffs have 3 addresses on file for the debtor company. At the first, they find a restaurant called East Z East. Rob and Gerald head in.
You're not allowed in, mate. You're not allowed in. You're not allowed in.
But our cameraman clearly isn't welcome.
Different company anyway.
Different company. Can you close the door, please?
Inside, staff tell Rob and Gerald that this is no longer EZE Manchester Limited, and that a new company is now